Well, Recall, that's what it is. What camera have I got? I got that camera right there. We're here, and we got Paul Swingle back after an absence of a couple of weeks. And Paul's my savior when it comes to mind closed head injuries. And we've had people write, call that he changed their life, and I'll say he's changed my life too. Paul Swingle, we just got to introduce you. You're ex-Harvard, ex-McLean University, ex-University of Ottawa, head of child psychology or something there, was that right? Came to Vancouver for a conference, fell in love with the place, quit all your jobs, retired here, met me, we did a couple of television shows. You now have, 14 people working for you or something, and the top floor down 1170 Melville, and you're fixing people's heads. Is that about the size of it?
Yeah, that's a little romanticized, but close enough.
Well, I think it's what you're doing. As I say, you change people's lives, and there's no doubt about that. And we have somebody that's called a couple of times. When they call next, we'll have to put them on the air right away. In fact, we should have called forward to that phone, you know that, Richard, so you can get more than one call at a time, but that's okay. What are we talking about tonight? Anxiety disorders and stuff?
Yes, a lot of the anxiety disorders. So we're talking about alcohol, addictions, irritable bowel problems, sleep problems.
Now, wait a minute now. Irritable bowel.
Right.
What the heck are you going to do for irritable bowel? You're not a proctologist.
Well, as the
You're a
saying,
psychologist.
as the saying goes, it's all in your head.
Well, I know you've been trying to tell me that for years, but my God, how do you fix irritable bowel syndrome?
It's an anxiety disorder,
You're kidding.
among other things.
I mean, it's all in your head?
Well, you have predispositions for various things. You have predisposition for depression, predisposition for sleep disturbance, etc. And what you need is something to turn it on.
You're kidding. By the way, you're the second Harvard professor we've had here tonight, the 6 o'clock to 7, and we had another one. Just for the record.
Okay.
Just in case you thought you were particular.
There are other Harvard
Oh, I know there are.
professors.
Yeah. That's what I found out. I didn't know that when he came. So it's all in your head. You've got a predisposition.
Yes.
What sort of predisposition is going to give me? I mean, why are we on irritable bowels? But that's a good one. I like it. Okay. I mean, what is irritable bowel syndrome? Is that having diarrhea all the time, or?
Yeah, basically.
Really?
Now, there are other expressions, constipation, anything in which the gastrointestinal or enteric system, as it's called, is not functioning properly. And, it's a very complicated system, and there are various muscle coordinations that have to take place. So the first thing you do is you pay attention to diet, and we send the person to a physician that works with us in terms of having a look at various potential allergies that the person may have. So they may be allergic to something that's causing the problem. And once we screen out all of that, we have a look at brain function, and inevitably individuals with this condition have a marked deficiency of slow frequency in a particular area of the brain associated with quieting and stress tolerance. If it's inflammatory bowel disorder like colitis and those sorts of things, Crohn's, etc., then there's always a major psychological component to that.
Oh, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. You're telling me that Crohn's and colitis can be caused?
Certainly exacerbated by it.
You're kidding.
We always find that the individual is hugely self-critical whenever they have inflammatory bowel problems.
Because I've told you about documentaries we did in ADD and so on, and I also used to raise money for Crohn's disease.
Ileitis and colitis and Crohn's.
Colitis and Crohn's disease.
That's right.
Way back when, 30 years ago. I never ever heard of that was in your head.
Sure, because it's incurable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never ever heard that it's in your head. Every time I meet you, I learn something more.
Good.
You're like a Dutch uncle or something that's always got something to learn. Or my Norwegian friend over here. Okay,
I
so
think, see, the bottom line is that
you're not
stress,
trying to be flippant.
no, stress doesn't cause anything. What stress does is it turns on the keys. And if you have a predisposition for certain kinds of conditions, stress will turn it on. And my favorite example to demonstrate this is, and we've used this in, example before, the twin studies
Yes.
and schizophrenia. If you have identical twins and one of them has schizophrenia, the probability that the other one will have schizophrenia is about 50%. And the interesting data is that 50% won't, which means you need something to turn it on.
It just hasn't hit them yet.
Correct.
Okay.
And there's a lot of evidence for that, you have all kinds of neurological predispositions for things, and there are certain conditions that turn it on. Trauma, emotional trauma, is a major environmental experience that will turn on all kinds of predispositions.
Okay.
And as you know, we see a huge number of individuals with very serious post-traumatic stress disorder conditions.
Okay.
A lot of individuals, children who have been ritually abused, and all kinds of horrible things.
Let's make sure that everybody knows. We do have a phone number you can phone us at. The number is area code 866. It's a free call from anywhere in North America. 866-980-0499. And Richard, you said there's somebody there now, right now?
Right now.
Do we have a name, or just go ahead, caller?
Go ahead, caller.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, hello, Dr. Swingle.
We can't quite hear you yet. Can you? Let's see,
Can you hear me
Richard.
now?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello, Dr. Swingle.
Hi.
Hi. I suffer from anxiety, depression, and insomnia. I'm considering treatment with you, but since I don't have any other medical coverage and to save on costs, I'm thinking of buying a brain stimulator unit and treating myself. My question is, will using my own stim unit be as effective as having you treat me?
No, absolutely not. And it depends on what you mean by a brain stimulator. Brain stimulators are not, it's not a form of neurotherapy. And there are all kinds of brain stimulators. Some of them are FDA certified and compliant, and in order to get one of those, at least in the United States, you need a prescription. And there are a lot of others that either are not effective or dangerous. So you want to be very cautious what it is that you're using and why you're using it. Now, a lot of brain stimulators are advertised for the treatment of depression, sleep disorder, and anxiety. They were selling them on the shopping channel for a while. It turns out that's a violation of federal law, because it is a medical device.
Right.
So, what is a brain stimulator going to be? Something that you put on your ears and run a buzzer through it? Or
Well,
what is
it
it?
depends on what it is. As I said, there are all kinds of these things. Some of them are dangerous and sham, and others are legitimate treatment devices. Alpha Stim, health packs. There are a couple of them that are legal. I mean, that are FDA certified and compliant.
I heard about AlphaStim because it's got coverage on Northwest Pacific News TV stations. I was thinking that it might be the best one to buy, but
They're pricey.
yeah. Is there one that you could recommend that you know is a good one?
I wouldn't recommend one until I know what we're dealing with. It's not a magic bullet.
No.
And we want to know what it is that we're treating here.
Oh, yeah. Well, I had an EEG done with you, and I was diagnosed with anxiety, depression, insomnia.
You had an EEG done with us?
So,
You had an EEG done by us?
yeah.
Call me. Call me at my office. I'll pull out your file and tell you whether the stimulator is useful for you.